I have no more alcohol. I was an alcoholic for 10, 20, at least years. And it doesn't mean I had it every day. But I quit when that fateful day in August last year happened. And I was asked by the doctor at the hospital, do you know you have diabetes? And I said no. So now we're going to pretend that this water, which is clear, is just like vodka, which I used to have, which was also clear. So let's use our cup and pour some water in it. And you don't need that much when you have vodka because it's 40% alcohol. It's not 5% alcohol. Let's pour it up to there. Can you see that? It's not up all the way. You're going to say, well, how is that enough to do anything but get you buzzed anyway? That's not going to put you to sleep, right? It's not even going to do that. Well, I didn't drink vodka straight. No, I enjoyed it with some Diet Cola. And you pour it in, and it goes to the top. And it's fizzy, and it tastes pretty good. I'll be honest. And vodka doesn't have much of a taste, so it's going to taste like whatever you put in it. And you have it over a period of time. But you don't just have one, or I didn't just have one. Even though what I'd want you to do is go to my other video where I talk about social anxiety, it would put me at ease. That's what alcohol did. And I'm going to show you later in the video. But I wouldn't just have one. I would have 2, 3. That would usually be enough to get you drowsy. But then it would start being more and more often. So I didn't always drink vodka. I started when I was 21. That was exciting, right? You can drink when you're 21. And I went to a local liquor store. And I got a 6-pack of beer. I woke up the next day and I didn't throw up, but I had a hangover. I didn't feel good. I went to class the next day. And I didn't drink again for a little while, but I went to a place like this. Now, you can see the sign, and let me get out here. I didn't go to this large of a store. But that's how it started. Stores around. I mean, liquor stores are everywhere. It's easy to get alcohol. It's a legal product. And I have nothing against liquor stores at all. I have nothing against liquor. I have nothing against beer. I've drank enough of that in my life. I used to like Coors Light, Bud Light, Corona, others, Yingling. Get that, it's a Pennsylvania product. But they're basically straight sugar, right? That's what alcohol is basically made of. You know, they, in American Pie, they say, you know, whiskey and rye, but it's also a lot of sugar. And I had wine. I used to get Burgundy because Burgundy doesn't just have 8% alcohol like in regular wines or 5% alcohol like in most beers, but it has 12% alcohol. And so it's more potent. And so it will get you a buzz quicker. And that's good if you're wanting to calm down and it's a Friday night. You want to just relax. Now, I drank mostly in either an apartment I was in my own house. When I used to live with my parents, I would kind of hide it in my closet, and I would, drink it there in my room. So nobody really knew, right? I would drink in my apartment. I wouldn't drink at work. Some people do that. That's really bad. That'll just get you fired. I would drink after work, usually at night, and not all the time at first. It didn't start off every day. It could be once a week at the beginning. I mean, for years. I tried to just keep it to the weekends, and I did for a long time. I mean, for years, I would just drink on the weekends. But even before I was married, I would drink more than twice a week, usually. I could go back to twice a week on the weekends, on a Friday or Saturday, and then not drink Sunday and then start. But it eventually would lead even to Sunday, just maybe not as much. So, I was functional. I would go to work. Alcohol would not keep me out of work. So I was able to work and then come home, relax, have a drink, help with also my social anxiety, which, again, I do speak about. So it was like self-medication, or it was self-medication to make me relax and be able to go on the next day. And I said in another video that therapists don't work. Well, for me, therapists don't work because you don't always tell them the truth, or I didn't tell them the truth. I never told any therapist that I drank or had a drinking problem. I never told my doctor until that August day where I went to the hospital and then went to my doctor that I had a drinking problem. And that's when I promised my wife that I would tell the doctor that I drank. And of course he said, yeah, that could have led to it. Now this is 31 years later. Remember, I started when I was 21. But I didn't drink all the time then, as I said, but more and more and more. And in those last 10 years, not all of the last 10 years, it would start becoming almost every day. And after a while, I would say in the last year, when I was 52, in that last year, in my 50s, I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It wasn't fun to drink. It didn't even really do what it's supposed to. It didn't just calm me down and, have fun watching TV. It wasn't fun anymore. I got too much of a tolerance from it. And, I could have 7 of those drinks throughout the day, but they didn't work anymore after a while, even though I kept having them. Right? When you're addicted, you keep having it, even though it's not working for you, which probably sounds really strange. If it's not working for you, why are you still doing it? You might as well quit. Well, I quit because I knew it was not going to help with the diabetes, and it took hitting rock bottom. It took that ride to the hospital where I was having trouble breathing. And I knew it was sugar. So when I told the doctor and I came home and I had my last 2 drinks actually, and I told my wife, I'm going to have 2 more, and it has to be you. If you're going to quit, it has to be you that wants to quit. It can't be your wife. It can't be your kids. It can't be going to a program. It has to be you that wants it that bad, and you're going to do it, and you make the promise to yourself. That's what will work, and it worked. And I said, I'm going to have 2 more drinks. So I had them, and that was it. I don't drink anymore. But I have diabetes. And I say liquor stores are everywhere. Well, Another thing to know about alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, vodka, bourbon, rum, they're not that expensive. Anybody, if you have a job and you have a little money after your rent or your mortgage and food, with $20 at most, you can buy vodka, in the big bottles, or rum, the cheap kinds. You can buy a 24-pack or a 30-pack of beers for, it might be $20, maybe a little bit more. It's not that expensive, and it can last a while. It can last you a while. So price is not an obstacle when you're buying alcohol, and even if you get addicted to it, it's not really that much of an obstacle. Yeah, that can add up to over $200 a month. It can be like a car payment, a cheap car payment. But if it's helping you, and it's weird to say helping you, get your mind at rest or at ease, well, that was worth a lot to me for a lot of years. It was better than going to the therapist for me. Again, as you'll find out, who I never told. So yesterday it was day 3 of my 30-day challenge to get my diabetes under control, and I have the low kind. And at one point after work, although it stayed in range most of the day, in the 100s, it did go down to 68, so the Libre 2 beeped. And then I had the orange juice as medicine, and it brought it right up to about 180. It went up like 110 points in a matter of 15 minutes, and kind of went down to 100 just as quick. So the question is, again, did drinking alcohol for those 31 years cause the diabetes that I have now? My answer is I don't know, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, members of my family have it. My mom got diabetes when she was over 50, and she never had alcohol, and it just came on. And she took the pills and eventually took the shots. I have other family who got alcohol later in life also. Didn't have it when they were children, but have it now. And some of them have the Libre 2s as well. I should show that again. They have these as well. And I have an uncle who had juvenile diabetes. So this runs in the family. But there's no question that drinking alcohol could have been a contributing factor to my getting it even after 31 years. But I can't conclude for sure that it did. So we're going to continue with the challenge. Please like the video if you found it of value. Please subscribe and leave your comments below. Let's make this a community.